All right. If you're lucky enough to have a job, chances are you're investing in your company's 401k plan, or you should be, to save for retirement. But what you probably aren't aware of is all the hidden fees in those plans that eat away at your investments. Here to tell us how to protect your money is Tom Ganella, Senior Vice President of Corporate Development for Lincoln Trust. They have come up with a first-of-its-kind method for calculating these costs, and I'm so glad you brought this to us because this is one of my pet peeves. Because people think their 401ks are free as a bird, that they pay absolutely nothing for them, and it couldn't be further from the truth.
No, you're right on, and that's, as you mentioned, the AARP study, 7 out of 10 Americans think their 401k plan is free.
All right, let's walk through some of these fees. I'm going to mention some of these, like record keeping. How expensive can that be?
Well, record keeping is a fee that participants or the employees for the plan are going to pay. 74% of the cost of a retirement plan are actually in the investments. So that's really the largest chunk, and that's where they should be focusing.
So it's the funds themselves, but we also have something called fee offset. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, fee offset is various forms, but essentially it's revenue that's paid from the fund company, the mutual funds, back to the service provider, typically the record keeper, to offset plan costs.
All right, there's money flying everywhere, to a third-party administrator, to an advisor, in case I have an advisor involved in this.
Right.
What are forfeitures?
Well, forfeitures are whenever money, say someone terminates from the plan, and then money is left in that hadn't been matched, what have you.
So there's a little bit of something extra there. Okay, fees paid by the employer. What would that be?
Well, if your employer is paying some of these fees on your behalf, those would be the fees that your employer pays. And
investment expenses, there's always, you know, that's one of those.
That's the big one.
That's the big one?
That's the big one. Over 74%. Some say as high as 94%, but our studies show about 74% of the 401k costs are in the underlying investments.
And can I tell you, seeing miscellaneous on this list does not make me feel good. Because I'm paying that, and I don't even miscellaneous. What's in there?
It could be for distributions, if you took a distribution or a loan, various factors like that. Audits, your plan gets an audit, someone has to pay the bill for that. All
right, so you worked really hard and got us this great set of numbers, this graphic we put together, to show what this would cost you over time. Take a look at this. So what we assume is that your beginning balance is $250,000. That your gross rate of return, it's a little rich for today, but 7%. So if you were paying 1% in fees, your balance in 30 years would be $1.5 million. 2%, 1.1. 3%, just $828,000. And because the differences are in red, I cannot see them. But you can see there's a very big difference here. And, you know, the higher those fees, the lower your balance in that 401k. This really matters.
It absolutely matters. And unfortunately, in the industry, it's not talked about enough. But it does matter. It matters tremendously, as you just pointed out in that graph.
So you're calculating this for investors. They can get these details, and it's typically not available. So this is great news that you're making it available to people.
So we've rolled out what's called a personalized expense ratio. So both for the employer as well as the participant, they will have one number that shows them all of these costs in their retirement plan. They have to be on our platform, obviously, to have access to that report. Hopefully the industry gets there. So if you don't have access...
You're raising the bar. You're raising the bar, and hopefully other people will match it. And I really thank you for bringing this to us, because this lets people out there know your 401k is costing you, and you need to find out just how much. Tom, thanks so much for bringing this in.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.